Hello there, and welcome to episode 44. Now, it's been some time. This is my last video again, and just going to do an update of what's going on here. So, I've moved out of my place. I'm now living with my mother. I had a little rough time leaving. I guess when I got back, so I went away to camp, and when I came back from camp, I had been told that I was able to get out of my lease early and I don't have to pay for another month. So that was what I wanted in the first place. But I thought I was stuck with my place for another month, and then so I was able to leave early, but I had to leave in 5 days. So it was very stressful. And then so with PTSD, I had to take time to adjust to situations. I need time to mentally prepare myself for situations. When anything gets thrust upon me abruptly, it tendency to have panic, trauma responses, panic and anxiety, and I get closed off, and I just go through all these emotions very intensely. And so there was no difference in this time, and and there was a lot of stuff, realizations, that came to me. I'm losing my idea of what I had for security. I'm putting myself in a new situation where I don't know how it's going to be. Me and my mother's relationship has been rocky for the last little bit, and we're trying to repair it. And so, not knowing how that's going to be was a little nerve-wracking. And then having to move, having to get rid of my stuff, having to go through everything and decide what I'm going to need. And it's a smaller place, and that's going through my stuff and getting rid of stuff. I get attachment to things, and then I have a hard time getting rid of them. I'm hoarding, and I don't want to hoard a bunch of stuff and not have it. I had more stuff than I needed, but I definitely had a really hard time partying, and so those 5 days it was nerve-wracking beyond all reason. I didn't even sleep a lot of those nights, but there was other reasons for that as well. So bracing on this new life, on finally getting out of the East End, having the epiphany, moving on with my life, thinking that knowing everything I know and feeling confident, and I still ended up using drugs through that moving week. I was really stressed. I was the most stressed I've ever been in as long as I can remember. Just in terms of having my mind overrun with thoughts, anxieties, and stress, and just not knowing what to do with any of it. And I still had that desire to drown my sorrows. And I'm like, you know what? I can't even get high anymore. Those pills numb my dopamine receptors. But I still, I guess, wanted the PG-13 version of getting high, which is what I get now, which is barely anything at all. Maybe equivalent to a really strong, I don't know, Valium or something like that. I don't know. It's super weak. It doesn't really do much, but my overwhelming need for that still overpowered me. And I had a post-acute withdrawal right before I left camp, and I went into mental relapse. I couldn't get out of it, and so I haven't used since I moved in. The whole idea of this place is like a sober living home, which I did need. And it still bothers me that I'm scared when those feelings come up. I can't handle it, or I know that in some shape, way, and form I'm grieving my old lifestyle. I honestly thought I was never really gonna get out of there. I honestly thought I'd never really find a place. I thought I'd most likely die from a drug overdose. A part of me always thought that stuff was good chance it was going to happen, but I did try to have hope that it wasn't going to. Now that everything has changed and it's actually happened, it's the reality of the situation, the gravity of everything is really sunk in. And it is still overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm finally out, and not being in that neighborhood, not having to see drug paraphernalia every time I leave the house, all over the place, not having to walk by people just fucked out of their minds, pardon my French, and just people doing drugs everywhere. That's made a big does make a big difference. It does make a huge difference. Environment is a huge key role in the staying clean and sober. And even though I don't know what's going to happen the next time I go through a post-acute withdrawal, don't know, but I'm more confident than ever that I'm in finding a position where I can handle it better than I ever could. I I found myself the other day, yesterday, heading towards mental relapse, and I reached out right away because that's when you're supposed to intervene and stop it from going any farther before you get to a real relapse, like get to the using part of the relapse. And so I did what I was supposed to do, so that was good. I got hit by a car on my bike for like the 5th time, because people do not look before they turn, and it's very dangerous out there. But that's not so. I walked away with minor injuries. I'm just thankful for that, because I almost got pulled under the car at the last second. But if I didn't jump off when I did, it would have I would have got pulled under, and that would have been a different story. So I'm blessed that that did not happen. So with that being said, so what I'm settled in my place. I moved in last Friday. I am starting to get into a new healthy routine. My old routine doesn't really exist. I'm in a different area of town. I have to adjust it ever so, but overall, it's the adjustment is finally starting to stabilize. I do find that um, like I said, not being over here has helped, but I'm also like, I never lived in this part of town since I was a kid. I don't know anybody in this end of town. I don't have any connections in this end of town. I don't have any memories, negative, using memories all around me, triggering me. That also helps. This is basically all new territory, all new surroundings, and my mom won't put up with shit. So I can't, I can't just do what I want. I at my old place, with my old roommate, like smoking weed all the time, having friends over partying, living the lifestyle I literally trying to get away from, and I lived for years. The honestly, I didn't want to tell him because I didn't want him to feel bad, but like the overwhelming urge to, fucking might as well join it. Like, it made it to easy to do that, because I'm like, oh, he's having fun, he's having a good time. Like I want to do that too, and it's hard. And like, even though he was going outside and smoking outside, he's still fucking high out as a fucking kite, long and bloodshot eyes. It makes you want it too a little bit, like, I don't know, after a certain amount of time, you have a bad day, you have some bad situations happen, it starts to look like getting fucked up looks appealing, especially when it's right in front of your face. Not to blame him, I made my own choices, but it didn't help keep me on the path of sobriety, that's for damn sure. I don't know, I thought weed wasn't going to bother me, but it kind of did. But yet again, I just didn't want to make him feel bad, but it wasn't the best situation for me that it could be. So I just keep on trying. Just gotta keep on trying. So I've changed everything now, officially. Trying to change all my character defects, my shortcomings, trying to not fall back into those patterns and those character defects. And I changed my habits. I changed what I do. I'm trying to create the neural pathways. I'm trying to change my environment. I'm trying to do all new things and not do any of the old things. And so I'm really hoping it pays off now, because I'm trying so hard, and I'm really hoping to have some success with this now, because I know that it's being clean, it takes as long as it takes. So your recovery takes as long as it takes. It's not gonna, can't rush it, you can't make it any faster, you can't be sober longer, you can't change any of that stuff. What's gonna happen is gonna happen. You do your best. That's all you can do, is do your absolute best. If you screw up, try not to do it again. That's try not to fall back down those rabbit holes, and that's all you can do. And I just try to keep telling myself, like, I'm doing my best, and that's got to be okay. I have to be okay with that. Progress over perfection. But as a perfectionist, I want to have a perfect recovery. I want to be recovered yesterday. I want to only take X amount of time to recover. I don't want to ever have a relapse. And putting that kind of pressure on myself doesn't help the situation at all. It just gives me unrealistic expectations to live up to, that I know that if I don't, then I'm super hard on myself and tear myself down and feel like a failure and feel like a loser. And I don't want to constantly be doing that to myself. It's hard. I'm trying to just say, just get through today. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try to stay sober for today, and just be happy with what you have. And it's helping a little more, trying to have that mentality. It does take time to change your way of thinking. Like when you've been one way your whole, like for as long as you can remember, that doesn't happen overnight. It can't happen overnight, and it just takes time. Carving out those new neural pathways in your brain so that you do the right things. It's it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when it's going to happen. As long as you keep doing the next right thing, it's going to happen. So that being said, I was holding in. I didn't tell anybody until recently that I had relapsed. That week I moved. I only told 2 people. This is the first time of me coming out about it, because I did feel like a failure. Was really being hard on myself, and I was mad at myself for backtracking, mad at myself for not being able to handle that, not mad at myself not reaching out when I should have. And but what's done is done. And you know what? It didn't continue. I got myself. As soon as I moved in here, I said, "This is it." Like I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared, not only about the situation, not only but everything changing. Not only the thing that everything changing all at once, and having the fear of, oh, it's happening too fast. Everything's happening too fast. But like having the fear, like I'm never gonna get high again. There was a part of me that's scared that I was never gonna be able to get high again, because there's a part of me that still wants that, obviously, because that's how I trained myself. But like, the fact that scared me even more, if that makes sense. Knowing that part of my life was ending or transitioning, I'm transitioning out of it, really like transitioning out of it. It scared me. It terrified me. Like I'm just like for the longest time I knew what my life was, even if it was negative. But like now everything is different. Absolutely everything in my life is different, and I'm going in a completely new direction with completely changed everything, and it fucking terrifies the hell out of me. And that whole world of uncertainty, it's exciting, don't get me wrong, but like it's terrifying. I don't know what to do with those feelings sometimes. I'm just trying to share and openly communicate them so I don't hold them in, and then that leads to festering and explosions and whatnot. So that's why I'm sharing. And in terms of good things happening, there's lots of good things happening. Like I'm really like there are things like starting to fall into place again. Like every time I'm doing good, like I'm doing the next right thing, everything's, like I said before, everything starts to happen. And so like I'm really happy with what's been happening and positive in my life right now. My career, or like what I'm planning for my future, is moving forward. So I decided to go for filmmaking. I'm pretty sure I mentioned in the last video, I can't apply till next September, or I can't apply till like spring, but for next September. But I'm really excited about it, because I've been doing videos nonstop. I love doing videos. I love acting. I love entertaining. I love all aspects of that. And so moving forward, I'm definitely want to focus all my energy on that, because it's where my passion lies. I know that I'm going to do a lot of great things with it. And then so I just like yesterday joined a new chorus. It's LGBTQ chorus here in London. So I have that one, and so that choir, and then I have my church choir just started up. This was the first weekend back after summer vacation. And then I also, the TV show I was an extra on, How to Die Alone, premiered on Hulu. I think that's how you say it. Streaming on Hulu, 10 episode first season. I think I'm in the last episode. I have to wait to see till it's aired to see if I made it in the episode. So that's premiered on Friday. So that's super exciting. I also got a voiceover job for a project about trauma. That's coming up soon for my friend's production company. Really super excited about that. I'm going to be recording that this week. And then I also was thinking about taking. There's improv classes. There's some stuff. There's some ones that you can do for free, or things you can do for free with that. There's a company here in London, so I want to do that and get kind of going with that, and work on being comfortable in front of people and just like kind of wing it and that kind of stuff. That sounds really fun to me. And not only that, like I met somebody at the camp I was at, somebody who has a great story to tell. I don't want to give anything away too much, but I asked them if they would like to tell their story, and they agreed. So we're in talks about how that's going to go down. I'm really super excited about this one because not only do I want to tell people's stories, and I feel like some people like there's a lot of stories that need to be told, that they're going to change lives, but like this is a very special story, and it's very passionate. I'm very passionate about this project, and they're really excited for it. And I got my friend from the production company involved as well, because that way we can take the story a little bit farther and we can do a lot more with it. And so that's going to be in the works slotted for production next year, after next September, because we need time to like get it together and everything like that. And so we got that project in the works. I also got something else. I don't know if I'm allowed to say. I have another project on the back burner that's in the works, but like I am not allowed to say too much about it. But it's an acting project, so I hope that that's still moving forward. Yeah, and in terms of choir, like I want to do theater one day. Nice to do like kind of like a Broadway show, maybe not on Broadway, but like so that's I'm gonna try to get comfortable with singing, getting better with singing to doing something like that, be comfortable with something like that. So there's like a lot of positive things happening right now, and so I know if I stay true to this, good things will keep happening. And I never even thought about my life really having these kind of things happen. I honestly, I thought that it was the same for everybody. It's like everybody had dreams. People told you can do whatever you want, but realistically, we all got dead-end jobs that we truly hated till the day we died, and we just went to work every day and hated our lives and counted down the hours till we got to go home, and that was just life. That's how everybody lived. And I did that for quite a few years, and I just can't go back to that. I realize now that doesn't have to be our story. That doesn't have to be anywhere near our story. And we really actually can accomplish stuff. It's about having the drive. And when you say you can't do something or no longer do something or make excuses, then you're never going to find out if that chance is going to pay off. But, it all started last year when I applied to the job for the to be a extra in that TV show. And I immediately, when I saw the posting online, I immediately thought, I can't do that. I could never do that. I'm too old to do that. I'm too traumatized. Like that immediately just flooded my mind with those thoughts. And I thought after that, like, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I have literally nothing to lose. If they say no, then I'm literally in the same boat. So what does it even matter worrying about all those things? You know what? I'm just going to go for it and see what happens. And that sparked all of this. All of this has led me here and brought me this and led me back to my passion. Like I wanted to do movies and acting and all that when I was a kid. And I never thought I would ever be doing something like that. People say, oh yeah, well there's lots of actors. Everybody wants to make it. And it kind of discourages you, like you're ever going to be that one. But like, I know I do have potential to really wreak havoc in that industry because I have a lot of talent, and I can do lots of different things, and it doesn't just have to be one thing. And I talented across the board, and I know that is what's going to really set me apart and take me to some different places. And I don't care where I go as long as I'm able to create and see my visions come to life. And that's the best part, is having an artistic vision that you see in your head and bringing it to life is like so rewarding and amazing. And I just watch it back and I'm just like, wow, I just can't believe that I visioned it, I created it. And it's like to watch it back or hold it, or whatever, however I'm expressing myself that day, it is truly gives me the most positive pleasure that I literally can't put into words how great it makes me feel. Like, I guess I know I'm like a true artist by heart, because like it's it's what I've been looking for my whole life. I don't know, I just follow these jobs for money, or for whatever reasons that weren't really based on pure like emotions. They were just about the wrong kind of things. And knowing that that's, I can do that now is like, wow. I to think that like I can have a life and I don't have to hate my job, and I don't have to count down the hours until I get to go home, and I don't have to just resent my coworkers and all that negative stuff that comes in most like workplaces. It's nice because like there's nothing worse than the idea of getting to live again after going through like the stuff I've gone through, getting to live again and then not being able to, and then going back to that would just be like, why did I go through all that to live and then just go to some, so I can hate my life for the rest of my life? Do you know what I mean? So it's just hope to ever, just I want to send that hope out to everybody out there. It's never too late. No matter how old you are, as long as you got a heartbeat, it's never too late to change your life. It's never too late to get sober. It's never too late to go for after the things you really want. And who's to say you can't have it? It's only yourself telling you can't have it most of the time, because that's the way we think, and we get conditioned that way. We are so much more capable than what we give ourselves credit for, and we really need to remember that and know that life is here to be enjoyed. It's not here to be, well, what most people's version of it is now. It's just hating it, going day to day, being in a mountain of debt, never being able to go on vacation, uh, just being exhausted all the time. That's not living. And I'm like, why do we do it? We don't want to, we want to, like, you die tomorrow. Like, what would you have to say for your life? I know I wouldn't have anything positive to say. It's like because before I worked 2 jobs, never went on vacation, I drank every single weekend, I had barely anything to show for it, I had fake friends. Like, what positive thing would I say? Oh yeah, well, life was great. I got shit-faced drunk every weekend with my fake friends, and managed to pull myself up together for my job that I hated to get to every single day. And then, like, who wants to say that about their life at the end of the day, right? So, like, I like to say that I'm like a prime proof that like you can come from the depths of garbage, the lowest levels of addiction, claw your way up and have something better than what you ever thought you could ever have. I've worked really hard to get here, and even though it's not exactly where I still want to be, because I'm a work in progress and I got a long way to go, but like at least I'm going up, and at least I'm moving towards something, and at least my life is good today. And I'm not, even with the bad parts, that's always going to be difficult parts of life, but like I'm content in the bad moments now. At least I don't fall apart to epic proportions and let it steer me hard off the rails. It's been a little bit, but like, we're gonna have bad days, we're gonna have bad situations, we're gonna have moments where we think we can't make it through, but at the end of the day, we're gonna make it through that as long as we believe that we can. So I hope everyone's doing well, and I'm thank you again for watching and keeping up with me. And we are, can't believe we're almost at episode 50. This is like gone by really kind of fast in a slow way, if that makes sense. So yeah, anyways, I'm looking forward to the next video and making update progress on what's been happening since then, because I'm sure a lot will happen in that time frame as well, because a lot happens these days. Again, there's that chunk of bad days, but like ultimately most of my days are good, and most of my situations are good. And I in the grand scheme of things, compared to my old life, my life is cake and pretty amazing today. So anyways, that's not for today. Bye.